You're listening to the Open Books Podcast.
Your next chapter starts now.
Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is she the one?
Pick it up.
Okay. Say
Now.
something?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. It's working now.
You better not stop. I'll cry. Don't do this to us, computer.
Please don't do that to me.
Please.
Did you watch Big Daddy?
Yes.
And he says, please don't do this to me.
I know, don't do this
All right.
to me. All right.
All right, let's get started. So, hi everyone, and welcome to the Open Books Podcast with Amber and Colby.
Oh my God.
I'm Colby, not Amber.
I'm Amber, not Colby.
Okay, so I'm very excited to be here with Amber.
I am. This feels like Christmas. I'm not even kidding. I'm so excited.
Okay, quick background. We're from New Orleans, so if we have accents, that's why we sound like this.
Yeah, please forgive us.
I'm sorry. I don't hear my accent.
I don't either. And I
Wh-
don't hear, well, obviously I don't hear yours.
I know, but when I'm around other people, like when we're in Miami,
Mm.
people
Oh
are
my
like, where are
gosh.
you from? I don't hear it.
No, me either.
But, okay, we're from New Orleans. That's why. We sound like this, so I'm sorry if it bothers you.
That's
Okay,
what it is.
so Amber and I have known each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
I will cry right now. Because recently, we have become into this adult friendship
I know.
that is so special.
It really is. I do feel like we were meant to be friends as adults.
I know. We knew each other in high school when I literally looked like a gremlin.
Okay, but we all did. So.
We all, not
Not
the middle schoolers today.
Kids do not look like that anymore.
They
But
don't. The middle schoolers today have not gone through the ugly phase.
and it's not fair.
It ain't right.
It ain't right,
It ain't
sis.
right. Well, I looked like a gremlin in high school. Well, you
Same.
were a senior and I
Yes.
was a sophomore.
Sophomore.
You were
yep.
2 years ahead of me.
Yep.
But we were both homecoming queens. Soft
We
flex.
were. We both peaked in high school.
No, literally. But our reading journey, my reading journey, I'm sure
Yeah.
yours too, really peaked in high school.
Yeah,
Like
for
I
sure.
started in high school. And I put in
Yeah.
my notes because I wanted to remember
Yeah.
Looking for Alaska was my favorite book by John Green.
I've never read that.
Did you read The Fault in Our Stars?
I did read that.
Okay, same author. And in high school, that was like my whole personality, was John Green, The Fault in Our Stars, and Looking for Alaska. I remember being in courtyard and sitting with a book. I also thought it made me look like different than other girls. Like, I'm going to sit here and read my book.
She's so quirky.
Like, she's so quirky, she's reading. But really, okay, then, because I wrote about my book background.
Yeah.
First of all, let's just say who we are.
Yeah, I guess we should probably start there.
Probably so. Okay, so 26 years old, English teacher, wife, mom, period. That's it.
Done.
Wife, mom,
Boom.
teacher.
Wife, mom, teacher. Wife, not a mom. Instructional coach.
Okay, but you were a
29.
teacher.
I was a teacher. I taught
Yes.
ELA for
Yes.
5 years.
Yes. And that's where
Love it.
that's where I think we really grew together as our adult friendship,
Oh, 100%.
as being teachers together.
Yes, we taught at the same school.
Yeah. And we were like, wait a minute, we're the same person.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Loved it.
But now you're an instructional coach.
Yes.
So you're a teacher's teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love that too.
It's amazing.
It is.
So my reading journey, okay, after high school, kind of fell off, and then COVID 2020 picked
Mhm.
back up. Because what else were you gonna do?
Right.
You were gonna read.
100%.
By the way, I kind of miss COVID 2020.
I
like,
know,
hot
just to
take.
like be able to stay home.
I know, and do
Like,
nothing.
You had all of your time to yourself.
Yep. Did you watch Tiger King during COVID
Oh.
2020?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That also was my entire
I
personality.
also was doing like the Carol Baskin
killed her husband, whacked him.
him.
Which I think she's in jail right now.
Is she?
I don't know. No.
I think
she was
she's
on.
still
She was
running-
on Dancing with the Stars. It's the guy who's in jail now.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
It's Joe Exotic. Loved him.
Yeah.
King. All right.
Literally
Anyway,
the Tiger King. Sorry.
book journey.
Yes.
2028 came back for me, and that's when I finally got a Kindle.
Mhm.
And I was one of those people, which I wrote in my notes, who was like, no, I need a hard copy of a book.
Yeah.
Like, I need a hard copy.
People go hard behind that.
I know. I was like, no, I need a physical copy of a book. But then
Yeah.
I got a Kindle because I needed more books to read quicker.
Yep.
During COVID. And I was like, I need them to come in the mail faster. So I got
Yeah.
a Kindle. And now I'm a Kindle girl. But
Hardcore.
I know, but I have an internal struggle because I have bookshelves, and I want to be able to show.
That is hard.
I know. I want to be able to show for the books that I've read. So I think I'm gonna.
I was
don't
going to
know.
say, don't you have an idea with that?
I
Like,
think-
actually buy the book
I
even
think
though
I'm-
you read it on a Kindle?
Yes. Even though it's more money, like
Do you
I'm
have
just
Kindle
gonna,
Unlimited?
yes,
No. I feel like that works out.
it does because a lot of books on Kindle Unlimited are free.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna start buying the hard copy, but it's so much easier to read with a Kindle at night when you're in your bed.
Oh, I know.
You don't
I
need
go
a flashlight or a book light or a
No.
lamp because the Kindle lights up.
I'm honestly in that dilemma right now
I know.
because the book I'm reading
Is a hard copy?
I have it in a hard copy because I went to Two Fish Books
Mm.
and they had
Local
that
bookstore.
huge sale going on.
Mhm.
It's so beautiful in there.
Mhm.
But so I have hard copies right now and I want to read the books,
Mhm.
but I am a diehard Kindle girly.
Me too. I know. And then at late at night, your husband is sleeping. You can't turn on the light.
Correct.
That's where Kindle comes in play.
Correct.
Okay. So, what is your reading journey?
So definitely started in high school.
Mhm.
I was more drawn to. Do you remember the Crank books?
No, I don't.
So Crank, I was all about it. It was like narrative
it about?
poetry. It was about drug use.
hmm
It was like the main character was a druggie,
Okay.
and you went through her life being a drug addict, but that effect on her family as well and her friends. She was like in high school.
Pretty deep for a high school reader.
I know, which I really, like, as I was kind of thinking back on that journey, I was like, wait a second, have I always been this way? Why do I like these books? And then I definitely fell off. Like early 20s, I really didn't read that much. And then
Yeah,
I
because
think-
you're so selfish in your early 20s. You're like a psycho.
yeah, and I
I
also
don't
was
care
just
about
like,
reading.
no, and I also was just like, I want to go out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want
We
to
were
read
being
a book.
degenerates out at 2 a.m. Like I didn't care about
100%.
reading.
Reading
Yeah.
was not on my mind.
No.
And then I agree with you. COVID hit.
Yes.
I got back into it. But
Mhm.
honestly, like the type of books that I was reading, like what I'm into right now,
Mhm.
psychological thrillers,
Mhm.
very much so. I definitely like some smutty romance.
That's what I said too.
But I'm also like a big self-help girly.
I know.
I mean,
You-
if y'all know
You're
me,
obsessed.
I am all about this like wellness, spiritual awakening. And if you don't know, now you know, because
I love it.
that's me.
I have never read a self-help book, but
Oh
you
my
inspire me
gosh.
to want to read them.
I think some of them are like a little too much,
Yeah.
but some of them are really,
I know,
really
because if you
good.
get too caught up in the self-help, then you could just spiral.
for sure,
But also, I get it. Like it's a push.
it is like 101 essays to change the way you think. I think that's the way that will change your life. 101
Yes.
essays that will change your life. But those are good.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna read any
Self-help book.
self-help book, that's the one.
Yeah. And you read them like at what? In the mornings? Like what do you do? What is
I
your
do. So like I'll wake up,
Mhm.
make my cup of coffee, and I sit down with my Kindle, and I'll read like one chapter.
Yeah.
Each chapter's different.
Yeah.
So
Well, I want to expand the genres that I read because
Yeah.
I'm stuck on psychological thriller. I can't get out of it.
they're addicting. That's why.
I know. Like I like you said, I'm into a little bit of smut, like the
Girl.
Flock series, which we have to talk about. If you are a
Did I
smut
turn this
reader,
off?
no, because I can still hear you.
Okay, good.
So you're good.
I thought I turned it off.
If you are a smut reader, you have to read Flock. I also feel like though there's so much more intense smut we just don't know about.
Oh yeah, I feel like we've only like scratched the surface.
Same. Like some people might be like Flock, like that's a beginner. Like
yeah,
what?
but that lake scene, baby,
The lake scene.
that's not beginner.
If-
I'm sorry.
If you need a little push, a little something to get you going, read Flock and read the lake scene. Is that in the first book?
It's in the first book.
Okay, so Flock is a 3-part series.
Correct.
I believe.
It's the Ravenhood series.
Yes. And it is very sexy.
It is.
It was shockingly sexy. And it got me going.
Oh my gosh, we were texting each other the whole time we were reading these books. Like, girl,
Well, I was reading it in the classroom. And I was like,
can't.
I have to put this down.
Put it in your desk. Lock it
Okay,
up.
don't judge me, teachers, but it was the very end of the year. At the end of the year,
right,
no one does
right.
anything. And I was reading and I was like, okay, this has to go. I have to put this book down.
Put it in the bag. Cannot read that.
Okay, but yes, I want to expand my genres from
Yeah.
psychological thriller. I want to
For
do
sure.
self-help book. I want to try to start reading more memoirs, like actual people's
yes.
books, like celebrity memoirs. I want to get into that more.
Ooh, you know which one I want to read?
Who?
Pamela Anderson's.
I didn't know she had one.
Okay, so another thing about me, I go down these rabbit holes
Yes.
with celebrities.
Become obsessed.
Yeah, Pamela
Yeah.
Anderson was one of those
Mhm.
celebrities. I
Did you
watched
watch the Pam and Tommy?
Pam and Tommy, and then I watched her documentary,
Mhm.
and I was like, wait a second,
Obsessed.
I'm obsessed with you, and now I want to read your
Mhm.
book. So she's got one I want to read.
Now I'm gonna make you my whole personality.
No,
I have a problem with that. I become obsessed with something.
Who are we right now?
Jackie and Claudia.
With like a little sprinkle of
If you're a
Sophia
toaster,
Richie.
You know, Sophia Richie, obsessed. Like, and then it's gonna change. Like, I'm
does.
easily influenced.
I am too.
It is what
honestly.
it is.
That's something that we have in common.
I know. It is what it is. Like, it's part of. I'm easily influenced.
Yeah, same.
If everyone's doing it, I'm gonna do it.
Seriously.
Okay. Topics I definitely want to hit on.
Mm-hmm.
Books into movies.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. Did you read Where the Crawdads Sings? You didn't, did you?
I got through like 3 chapters.
Okay, I get that. It was a hard one to get through. I did push
I
through
know,
it.
but everybody loved it.
I know. I have a hot take on it.
Oh, say it.
I did. Okay, I liked it. I did, but it was long and it was hard for me to get through. But I think Reese Witherspoon in her book club, she's got it. She's got the it factor with turning books into movies.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
the movie. Did you see the movie?
No.
You need to watch the movie. It was really, really good.
Was it?
And you're reading the last thing you told me,
Yes.
right?
And that is a series.
Yes. And I think she's in and that's
Oh,
her
that's a
production team.
Reese's. That's a Reese's book club choice.
Yes. Do you like the book?
Okay. I do like the book.
Mm-hmm.
The way the author writes definitely makes you feel like you're watching a movie,
Mhm.
and that's something I really appreciate. But I would say I'm about halfway through. And I really don't want to spoil the book for anyone reading it.
Yeah.
But I am to the point where I'm like, okay,
Something needs to happen.
let's go. Like I need a little something more.
Is it like a thriller?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's definitely okay. So like, this girl's husband
Mhm.
doesn't come home, but his company is like doing some really fraudulent, dirty stuff, and she's
Little
like,
nasty.
the little nasties, but she's like, I know my man, and he would
Mhm.
never not come home. But she's
Bitch.
also like has his 16-year-old daughter,
Okay.
who is very like, my dad wouldn't do this. So it's
Yeah.
really like them trying to figure out where he
What
is.
happened?
And I'm at the point where I'm like, where are
What
you?
happened?
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is interesting. I do enjoy reading it, but I am like, okay, I need a little something.
Something needs to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one that I think was a good rendition of books into movies was Luckiest Girl Alive.
Oh my gosh.
Really good. I read that book during COVID, and it was a long time ago.
That's the one with Mila Kunis, right?
Yes.
And I think she was like the perfect person.
So good. And it was a good movie.
It was such a
It was
good
shocking.
movie. It
was a-
was.
Yes. It was a hard read and a hard watch.
But I was so into it.
I know.
Maybe I have an issue.
I know. Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, I need to get into different genres because I really only will read quickly through a book that is a psychological thriller or like a page turner.
No, I agree with that because I need to be hooked by
No.
chapter 1.
I think that's a lot of people. Like I can't.
That's my people.
I know. That's just who we are at our core.
I know.
Wait, well, that's how I am with TV shows.
Yep.
Like if it's not, I was talking to my mom about it. She was telling me she was watching Firefly Lane. Did you watch it?
No, but I keep hearing good things about it.
I keep hearing good things about it, but she told me that this last season like put her in a depressive state because it was really sad. Like it
Yeah.
had something to do with spoiler alert if you're watching this,
Mhm.
like, skip ahead. It had something to do with a cancer death, like at the end. And she was like, it put me in a bad space. And I was like, well, I can't watch stuff like that.
No, that's going to be hard for me right now.
I know. I can't watch stuff like that that's too real. Like anything
Right.
that can really happen in your real life is like, it's too much for me.
Yeah.
That's why I like psychological thrillers because they're kind of like a little bit out there, a little bit like
yeah, they're
out-
always very exaggerated.
exactly.
I feel.
Yeah, like a little bit out the realm of reality. Like,
Mhm.
this might not really happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I like those things. I don't like
Yeah.
things that are too real.
But you know what kind of freaks me out?
What?
Talking about movies?
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with like zombies or apocalypse.
Apocalyptic,
type-
like end of time.
Yes.
Wait,
That's
you
what
don't like it
freaks
or
me
you
out.
do?
No, that kind of freaks me out.
It freaks me out too.
I'm,
But
like,
I like
not really-
watching it.
Like
It
oh my
in
gosh.
The Last of Us.
Thank you.
Right? The new
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That freaks me out
Because that
like
could
low-key,
be real. Fungus?
I feel like that could be a thing.
I know.
I mean, it actually is a thing.
I know.
Like ants have it.
Bitch, Now I'm scared.
I'm not kidding.
No. That scares me. So that's why I like things that are like out of pocket, like shit that probably wouldn't happen. For example, Yellow Jackets.
I need to get on it.
You need to do it. Okay, and this is how it makes a connection to shows that we watch like that and books that we read that
Yes.
keep us in, because anything that's like fucking nuts,
Yes.
I'm in.
Me too.
I'm in. If it's disturbing, I'm in.
Almost more disturbing, the better.
I know.
And I know that's kind of controversial to say.
I know. Because this brings me to my next controversial topic,
Yeah,
books
yeah.
into movies, which is It Ends With Us, which you said you didn't read.
Okay,
Explain.
I haven't read It Ends With Us, and here's why.
Okay.
I feel like Colleen Hoover blew up,
She
as
did.
she should.
Right.
Like, she's a great author,
Mhm.
has great books, but I feel like everyone was reading it,
Mm-hmm.
and for that reason,
Couldn't be you.
I was like, I can't.
It's your boy.
Let me go back in time and read one of her earlier books, which led me to Too Late.
I didn't read that one.
So good. So good.
Too late.
Too
I never
late.
heard of that one. Okay.
Go read it. You'll
Okay.
blow through that
I
book.
will.
But anyway, that's why I didn't read It Ends With Us. And
Yeah.
now they're making it into the
The
movie.
movie.
And now I feel like I have to.
No, you don't. And this is
No?
my hot take.
Oh, this is a hot take.
Didn't love It Ends With Us. And don't come for me, okay? Books are personal.
Colby.
Book preference.
Books are personal, and if you know the reference.
You know. It's more personal than comedy, the reference. Okay. I didn't love it. It was good. Like,
Mhm.
it was good because I like Colleen Hoover's style of writing. Like, anything she writes, I feel like you will finish
I agree with
because
that.
she hooks you and she's good.
100%. And her
Yes.
character development
Yes,
is very well done.
it's good. But I found this one to be particularly, that's a hard word, particularly boring. Sorry, I did. Okay, it did have a good message.
Yeah.
It touched on a lot about domestic violence. Like, I think that's like the whole point of it.
Right.
And coming through and ending the domestic violence,
Mhm.
which is great.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. But like the book itself, I was just like, It had a lot of Ellen references, which bored me. Like, she wrote a lot of letters to Ellen. I don't know. Like, I just didn't love it.
Ellen,
Yeah,
like
Ellen.
Ellen.
like Ellen, like the TV show Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres. Okay, she wrote
I,
letters.
I didn't know that.
Yes, she wrote letters to Ellen, which I didn't love. But I finished the book because I liked Colleen Hoover's style of writing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
I do too.
the casting for the movie is duty. It's no good. Blake Lively, who I love,
I was
is
going to say,
playing.
I am a Blake Lively stan.
Me too. She just doesn't. She's not who I saw for Lily. Who's the main character. And then Justin Baldoni is cast as Ryle, who's Lily's like partner. Which did you
Gosh,
watch?
This is so hard for me. Like, I wish I would have read the book just so
I
I could,
know.
like, because when they released the cast,
Mhm.
everyone was kind of like, either they loved it
Or hated.
or they're more like you. Like, they did not love it.
Yeah.
And I was just
You
kind of
know
like,
what? You
I
prob-
don't know.
You should read it because then we could talk about what you think. And
Yeah.
like, do you think this is good casting? I don't. But
Mhm.
I love Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Did you watch Jane the Virgin?
No.
So good. You need to watch that
Yo,
too.
I swear I watch things, okay?
Not the good things. Jane the Virgin is so good, and he plays Raphael, who's like a main guy
Yeah.
on Jane the Virgin. So if you love Jane the Virgin, then you love him, but he doesn't match who you think in your head should be the character. So that's
I hate that.
I know that's the hard part about books into movies.
That's how I was at 50 Shades of Grey.
Did you read 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh my gosh.
I never did.
Yes.
but
read-
I heard that that's like a thing. Like,
okay, that's also something I read in high school. 50 Shades of Grey.
okay,
Yeah.
little scandals.
A little bit. I was like a senior though.
Yeah. Also, I hear a lot of people say like 50 Shades of Grey is not even considered smut. Like if you read smut, you're like haha to 50 Shades of Grey. Like
Yeah, that was probably like in like smut world, it probably
Mhm.
would have been like PG-13.
yeah, PG-13. Okay.
Which is wild.
Yeah, that really is. So, my final thoughts on It Ends With Us is I am going to watch the movie. And I think you should read the book and watch the movie so we can discuss.
Yeah, I feel like I can't be that person that didn't read the book and then just watches the movie.
Agreed.
I feel like a fake.
It's like so cool to be
Like
able
a
to say like, yeah, I
phony.
read the book. Like, did
I've-
you watch the movie? Yeah, I read the book. Like, it makes you so much
Oh,
cooler to
and
have read
I'm-
the book.
I'm definitely the person that's like, the book was better.
The book is better. Me
I
too.
love saying
Me
that.
too. And then people are like, oh, you read the book? Like, yeah, I read the book. Like, I'm a reader. I'm an
Baby,
intellect.
I read.
I'm an intellectual.
I'm an intellectual being.
Support women who read. Another reference. Okay.
Women supporting women.
Women supporting women. Okay. Should we
Should we just do this thing?
get into the book?
I think it's time that
It's
we
time.
talk about Woom.
Woom.
Woom?
First of all, Nothing made me laugh more than when I realized that the name of the book was Woom because he couldn't say room.
Stop it. That is in my notes. And honestly, that was like a big takeaway for me.
It was. He could not say room, so he said womb,
But
which also sounds like womb.
yes. I have so many
W-O,
thoughts
how
on
do you
it,
spell womb?
Colby.
W-O-M-B? Like a womb, a mother's womb.
Yeah, W-O-M-B.
Okay.
And like his mommy issues. Oh my gosh, let's get into
So
this.
many mommy issues.
Colby, are you gonna hit us with the
Summary.
little summary?
Okay. Here is what Amazon says the book is about, but I also came up with my own summary so people who have not read this book can get a gist of what the book is about, and then we'll
Yes.
just kind of go through like thoughts.
100%. Here for
If you
that.
haven't read the book, here's a trigger warning. It is disturbing.
Yes.
It is what's a word to describe this book? It is
It's
descriptive.
it is descriptive.
Mhm.
I like to say,
Mhm.
like when I'm describing this book to friends and family,
Mhm.
if you could think of the most disturbing thoughts in
Yeah.
your mind, like whatever you think is the most
Intrusive thoughts.
right,
Which are so real.
which are so real,
This whole book was an intrusive thought.
but on steroids.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, no one could think of the things that are in this
No.
book.
No, I've never read a book like this.
No, and I don't think we will ever read it
No.
unless his Duncan
Mm-hmm.
has like this is his style of writing. I
Yeah.
feel like we won't read anything like this ever again unless it's one of his books.
Agreed. I think he has one more, or he has like another series, which we might have to look
There's like
into.
an excerpt at the end of the book.
I didn't read it. Did
Me
you?
either.
I'm scared. I was scared after I read this book. I was like, it was a lot.
It did put me in a place where
It
I
did.
didn't really want to be.
It did. I had to really like compartmentalize what I
Yeah.
read. But let's get into a summary so people know
Yes.
what we're saying. Okay, this is what Amazon says. The lonely motel holds many dark secrets, and room 6 might just possess the worst of them all. Angel knows all about pain. His mother died in this room. He researched its history. Today he's come back to end it, no matter the cost, once and for all. Shyla, a plus-size escort, thinks the stories Angel tells her can't be true. Secrets so vile you won't want to let them inside you. I'm sorry. That's just like, after reading the book, you're like, okay.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
the lonely motel doesn't forget, it doesn't forgive, and it always claims its victim. It also comes with a warning. Okay, don't buy this book if you have a weak stomach, you're easily disturbed, or if you're looking for a light horror read. This is not that book. Seriously, you've been warned. Okay, here's one more trigger warning.
Yeah.
If you have not read this book, it is not for the weak stomachs out there. It does not it does discuss extremely graphic, sexual, disturbing, and raw topics, such as abortion and sexual assault. So if that's too much for you, completely understandable. Don't read it. Don't read it.
Yeah, we don't recommend.
No. But, if even though these concepts are heavy topics, I did find it personally very compelling to read, and I genuinely enjoyed the writing style and the overall plot.
Yeah. I have to say that I do agree with that.
Yeah. Even though it's a lot.
It is a very heavy book,
I know.
but I really enjoyed reading it.
Me too.
And I'm like concerned if that makes me a freak.
Are we freaks? We might be. But so many people did. Like, I have seen people talk about this book and being like, okay, this was very hard to read, but the writing style was great. And the overall, like, message, which I can't wait to hear what you took away from it, which I think a lot of people might take different things away from it, was intriguing. And I think
Yeah.
it put me out my comfort zone because I am somebody who likes psychological thrillers, but, like, the most thrilling thing I read was Verity by Colleen Hoover, which we need to talk about.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because that book, to me, was a psychological thriller. Like, that book shook me. I was obsessed. I loved it. I thought that was like
such
a lot.
a good book.
It was so
such a
good.
good book.
And I thought that was a lot. And then I read this and I was like, that was nothing.
I know. I don't really want to go off too far because I know we're going to get into all this. So I'm
I
going
know.
to save the thought. I just popped in my head. For
Okay,
later,
well then
once we talk about the book.
Okay. Well, then I'll read the summary
Okay.
and stop me if there's something you want to say. But,
Okay.
But we will get into like our overall thoughts.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
for people who have read the book or haven't read the book, if you don't want to read the book but you just want this recap, this will do it. This will do it for you.
This will do.
All right. Basically, Angel is the narrator of the story.
Mhm.
Most of the story takes place in a gross-looking motel room as Angel tells a hooker named Shyla stories about a man named Johnny. Angel requested a hooker who was overweight. He made it very clear that he wanted her to be large in his own words. Okay? So Shyla comes in. She remains pretty open during her interactions with Angel. He inserts sex toys inside of her in order to stretch her out for reasons that we do learn out
Yes.
by the end of the book.
We do learn the reason for that.
We learn why during his interaction, during his storytelling with
Yeah.
Shyla, he is inserting these sex toys in her. He literally goes like inch by inch, like they get bigger.
Yeah. It's like a cone shaped
Yeah.
toy.
And the whole time I was reading, I was like, what is the point of this? He also explains that he gets no sexual pleasure from doing this.
Right. Which all makes sense in the end.
It does. Because I was wondering, then why do you have her here?
Right.
Okay, so he tells Shyla tragic stories about a man named Johnny and his life, such as Johnny and his drug addict girlfriend who find themselves in trouble with a drug dealer named Juicy.
Baby.
Juicy.
Juicy.
All right? Juicy forces them, Johnny and his girlfriend, to stuff drugs in their bodies to smuggle. Okay?
Mhm.
Johnny literally eats the baggies of drugs. Was it heroin?
It was heroin.
Okay. He cannot stomach the baggies of heroin, so he then poops them out. All right. He proceeds to dig them out of the toilet. That was
I'm not gonna lie, and I don't want to cut you off.
no. Please tell me.
I gagged
I
during
gagged.
that part. Like I really was like, I don't know if I can finish this part of the book.
Y'all, and this was the beginning of the book.
Chapter 1.
I know. This was the beginning of the book, and I was like, can I read this?
Because the next part.
Okay. So he poops them out. All right. And then proceeds to dig them out the toilet. The girlfriend then was like, well, we got to do this. Angel, we literally have to do this, or this Juicy is going to kill us.
I'm gagging right now. As Colby's reading it, I'm gagging.
Do you remember the girlfriend's name?
Jenny.
Jenny. She doesn't want to do it. Jenny, first of all, she was a bitch, okay?
But Jenny got them into this stupid mess, so really she should have been the one doing that.
She should have been the one, but
That aggravated me.
Me too. And Johnny, he was a pushover, and he should have stuck up for himself and be like, I'm not swallowing these bags of heroin, Jenny bitch.
Yeah, but Johnny really had. Well, we're gonna get way into that, but
Poor
he really
Johnny.
had some issues.
Johnny had some issues. So Jenny is like, fine, Johnny, I will take these bags of heroin out of my poop. And you're going to have to do the dirty work from here on out. Like, I literally can't stomach them. So Jenny's like, fine. So she shoves them up herself. Okay, you just do the math. All right? She shoves them up herself.
I can't.
But then the baggie breaks. And she overdoses.
Yes.
Okay. It breaks inside of her.
Yeah.
So Johnny, he tries to save her by digging the baggies out. But he then, in turn, digs out a fetus. It's about an 8-week fetus.
I lost it.
No,
I
I
lost
know.
it.
And this author's writing style is so extremely graphic. Like he details word for word. He's like, it was squishy.
Oh yeah, like
That took me out.
it was an emotional journey reading this.
It was, and it
book.
was extremely sad. Like I couldn't comprehend. I've never read something like that.
No.
So
never
he
in my
digs out a
life.
fetus. I don't remember if she was unconscious or not by that point, but Jenny does die.
Yeah,
by
I think
this
by that,
point.
I think at that moment she was
Yes.
like gone.
She was gone.
Yeah.
But Johnny mentions that it definitely could not be his baby, which I found was like confusing.
That was interesting to me.
Yeah, and we'll find out later why it could not have been his baby.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, I was like, okay, there's something there. So this story happens. Angel is telling Shyla this
Mhm.
story. She remains a down-ass bitch as she hears all of this. Okay, she lets him tell her these crazy stories.
She
So cool.
100% best character in the entire book.
She was so cool. So
She-
understanding.
Look, if Shyla lived around us, like Shyla would be our friend.
She would be our friend. She was so
Shyla's
cool.
so cool and just like so understanding and so like, if
Yes.
this is what you need, I'll do it.
Fine, I'll do it. I mean, she was getting paid.
She was.
So good for her. Good for Shyla.
Good for her. I mean, I would hope
guess.
that she did have some boundaries, but
Yeah.
throughout the course of the book, you
She-
do find she doesn't.
She doesn't. And she was
But
very
she's
understanding.
still so cool about it, though.
Yes, and I did like later on when we got her perspective when she was like, he seemed like a nice guy. He was telling me these weird ass stories, but I
Yeah.
was just going with it.
Yeah.
So she seems empathetic to Angel. Like she can tell that Angel's obviously a disturbed person. I think.
Oh, right away.
Yeah, and I think to her it was obvious that he wasn't getting any sexual pleasure from this. He just wanted to tell his stories while also inserting weird things into her.
Which
I-
we find out why.
Okay. So then she continues to let him tell her these stories. The next story is about a woman named Mary she was raped, and she did not want to go through with the pregnancy. So she gets pregnant as a result of a rape. So she goes to this motel room, which I don't know if we mentioned, but this whole interaction between Shyla and Angel happens in a motel room where these stories all take place in the same motel room. So Mary, way back when in the past, so now we're in the past,
Yeah.
she goes to this motel room and she attempts an abortion on herself with a hanger, a wired hanger that she finds in the motel room.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to abort the baby. Sadly, she dies during this abortion attempt, but the baby lived.
Also, the way she died,
Terrible.
like,
And it's so graphic, you guys. Like, if you read the book, it's like so detailed.
it goes back to like, I don't know how he thought of
I know.
these concepts and ideas in his head.
I know.
It is sick.
And if you're somebody who reads horror like this, then maybe you're used to it. But for me, this was the
this
first.
was new.
This
Like
was
when
new.
I think of horror, I think of like
I don't know.
like a
It.
stabbing,
Like, yeah.
it,
Right,
or
right.
like paranormal.
The Conjuring.
Like this was very different.
this was scary because it's like real life.
yeah, it's
like-
almost like his trauma was the
Literally.
horror.
Yes. So Mary, she
Yes.
attempts this abortion with the
Yeah.
wired hanger, and she also succumbs to this motel room, and she dies.
Yep.
The baby lives.
Yep.
Later on, we find out the baby is Angel, who's telling the story of Mary. Which I
Correct.
did want to know, like, how did he know all this about his mom? Like, interesting. We never did find that out.
No.
So,
Yeah, 'cause
plot
he
hole.
was like in a foster
right.
care system.
Plot hole I would like to know. How did he know
that
this?
never was tied up.
Never. But
That's a
apparently,
loose end.
loose end. Apparently, this baby was Angel. His mom tried to abort him. He has like scars on his face
Yeah,
from.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. So it's like a Harry Potter moment. He's old school. Sorry, Harry. All right.
It was.
Okay, so y'all, I'm sorry. We're almost done with the synopsis. It's just a lot. This book is a lot.
It is.
All right. So after Angel, is born through his failed abortion, the next story he tells Shyla is that of Johnny. He goes back to Johnny, and his high school girlfriend named Bethany. And Bethany, she's a lot. First of all, she has
Freaking
an
Bethany.
an
sorry.
overly sexually explicit, neglectful, and inappropriate mother.
Yes.
Did you? This makes me think of like friends in high school whose mom was just like way too cool. Way too cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the mom definitely didn't give Bethany any boundaries on like what you should do when you are a high school girl growing up. All she showed her was
No.
sex.
Yeah, and I think that she wasn't really, at least what I took away from it is like she was more into like wanting that attention herself from like any man.
Any
like
man.
the young guys,
Yes.
whoever. And then she was also like really into her art. So like Bethany
Mhm.
really didn't get
Mm-hmm.
attention that a normal
Yeah,
young girl would receive from their mother.
exactly.
So she really was just seeing
exactly.
the way her mom was.
Observing her mom.
Correct.
So she develops a sexual relationship with the mannequin. Bethany does.
Yes.
The mannequin was there as a result of her mom's art, right? Like
Yeah.
the mannequin was just there.
Yeah, because at some point the mom like took apart the mannequin and used
Yeah.
the parts and pieces of the mannequin for her art, and Bethany was pissed.
She was mad.
She was like, that is my like you just like took my boyfriend's arms
That's literally my boyfriend.
and used it as art.
Okay. So she becomes in love with this mannequin,
Yeah.
Bethany. I believe Bethany was like a teenager during this time, probably like 15, 16. Like that's what I took.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
high school.
Yeah, she was definitely in high school.
Okay. So she's in love with the mannequin. She names him Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And her first sexual moment, awakening, orgasm came from a mannequin. She got on top of him, she did her thing, and she's in love with Andy.
Insane.
It's insane.
Insanity.
It's nuts. I mean, the author goes into detail. He explains what the
He-
mannequin looks like. He's got a lump. It's not a real wiener. It's a
yeah,
little lump.
he holds nothing back in this book.
Nothing.
Truly, he holds nothing back.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, like you said, Bethany becomes devastated because the mom, not knowing that her child, Bethany, was obsessed with this mannequin, like does something with her art. She breaks the mannequin all up. Like she mutilates it.
Yeah.
So Bethany, she's devastated. She's destroyed. But she does develop a relationship with Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
who we do find out is Angel, the storyteller in this
Right.
book. So Johnny and Bethany develop a relationship, and they go to prom together.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up in this hotel room, the same exact hotel room that Shyla is with Angel in.
Yeah.
And they have this moment. They're probably about to do it for the first time. It's beautiful. Johnny thinks
Yeah.
he's in love.
Yeah, Johnny thinks this is going to be special
Poor
for
Johnny.
him.
Because what happens is not special. Because he's chloroformed. What is that word?
Chloroform.
Form.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Bethany got a hold of this, but she did.
Yeah, that part was never mentioned either.
Well, how's that? How'd she get that? A teenage girl. I don't know.
Yeah,
but-
that part was never mentioned.
Yes.
But
so,
honestly, while reading, I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm like,
no, I was terrified because I'm like, what?
run.
Run, Johnny. So Bethany chloroforms, however you say that word, Johnny. She puts it
Yeah.
over his mouth. He passes out. He wakes up because I think there is a power outage or something like
Yeah.
something
I-
happens where he wakes up.
Or it just wore off.
I don't remember.
I don't
But he
remember
wakes
either.
up in this crazy interaction with Bethany where she's literally chopping his wiener off
Yeah.
because she wants it to mimic that of the
Correct.
mannequin. She doesn't want a real one. She doesn't
Right.
want Johnny. Johnny then claims that he believes he was never like Johnny to her. He was always Andy the mannequin. She was just finding a means to an end.
I
to
agree
m-
with that.
Yeah, to mimic the mannequin that she was in love with. So she wants to mutilate Johnny, cut off his wee wee, and make it a little lump like it is on a mannequin that you see at a store.
So
I don't know if she
crazy.
thought that she was gonna kill him. Like I don't know if she thought she gave him enough to murder him. I don't know what Bethany's end
No.
goal was.
No, I don't think she wanted to murder him.
So what do you think she wanted?
Andy. I do
Not
think
Andy?
she was trying to mimic, like you said,
Yeah.
the mannequin.
Yeah. And he woke up though, and he was like, "Oh my god!" So he starts freaking out.
Oh, there was the power outage because the motel guy came into the room.
Yes, that's
That's what it
exactly what
was.
happened. So he got lucky.
Yeah,
There was a power outage in the motel. He starts screaming. He wakes up, and a
Yep.
guy comes in and saves him.
correct. That's what it is.
Yeah. So Bethany ends up in jail, and Johnny like lives, but he now has a mutilated private part.
Mhm.
It's like gone.
that he has to live with.
So we find out that Johnny is Angel, and he's telling, and Shyla, this whole time, she's listening to these stories. She's got these sex toys being inserted inside of her. She don't know really why, but she's going with it. She finds out that Johnny was Angel all along,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Oh my God! Like I'm so sorry. This happened to you. Like,
Yeah,
okay, you were born based from a failed abortion. Your mom died, so you never had a mom.
right.
He was raised in a foster system. He never had any love. He never had any compassion. He was just, I don't know,
Push through the
pushed
system.
through the system. He finally meets Bethany, who he thinks they have something special. She literally tries to mutilate him,
Right.
ends up in jail. Then he meets Jenny. The poop baggies of heroin happen. And now he's just here with Shyla. So you're like, why did he bring Shyla here? What's going on? What did you think at this point? Like, did you have any ideas? I don't think I did. Like, I still didn't know.
No, I think at that point I was like, oh, Shyla serves as like a
Mhm.
therapist. Like he just
Yes.
needed someone,
Mm-hmm.
and I just thought like his traumas and all of the things that happened, like sexual things that happened.
Mhm.
I thought that's why he called her or
Yeah.
called for her.
Right.
Um,
This is his coping mechanism.
yeah,
That's how
and
I
I was
took
like,
it,
oh,
too.
it's sick and twisted, but
Mhm.
I guess
He
like,
just wants to
that's
work
what he
through it.
needed.
Agreed.
And
That's
I
what
thought like he was putting his trauma baggage on someone that he
Mhm.
would literally like would leave that hotel room and never see him again.
Yeah.
you know?
Agreed. Me too. And he mentions earlier in the book that he does this often. Like he calls
Yes.
for sex workers to come in, and he does the same thing. So I'm like, maybe he
Yeah.
just wants to trauma dump.
Yeah.
He wants to trauma dump.
Yeah.
So that's not why though, because we find out
Mm.
that Shyla, who just happens to have a wide vagina, because she does mention this to him. She's like, "Well, why do you have a wide vagina?" She has a cervix issue.
Yeah. Well, I think throughout the course of the story, she opens up like, okay,
Yes.
you're sharing your stuff with me. Like, I'm going to share my traumatic events with you too. And the thing that happened with Shyla is, like, the popular boy asked her to the movies, and she went to the movies with him, and then, like, they went out back, and
Mhm.
she thought that he liked her, and his friend showed up, and they, like, raped her with a baseball bat.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. And
Graphic.
yeah. And as a result of that,
She
she
had,
couldn't have kids.
yeah,
And that's why she was so
yeah, open,
open.
quite literally. She was open to listening to Angel.
Oh my
and-
God, forgive
and-
me
God forgive me.
for laughing.
And her
But
vajayjay
yeah,
was open too.
yeah.
I love Shyla.
This really is like really serious topics.
It really is. And we
Every
we
single
laugh about it and we're
chapter.
joking about it because it's like uncomfortable. And the whole time I was
Yeah, yeah,
reading it,
yeah.
I felt icky. Like I felt like, oh my God, this is like scary that this is real life for some
Yeah,
people.
there were times where I was like audibly gasping.
Same, me too. So it's about to be done.
Mhm.
Shyla is she's definitely starting to get questionable about Angel and his intentions, Angel / Johnny, because
Mhm.
we do get one Shyla, maybe two Shyla perspectives, where she goes to the bathroom. I think Angel's like, we can take a little break, and she goes to the bathroom, and
Yes.
she's like starting to be like, he's kind of creepy, he's kind of weird, like what is up with all these sex toys? But I don't know, he seems nice, like he seems trusting.
Right.
Because throughout the book, Angel, the narrator, is very like easy and like compassionate, and his storytelling.
He is.
Yeah, he's like
And he almost does feel safe.
he does. I felt safe reading his parts. Like the way the writer portrays him.
I felt bad for him.
Me too. So okay, this is how it ends.
Let it rip.
Shyla, a woman who happened to have the Y vagina. Okay,
Yeah.
that's exactly what Angel wanted, because his goal in stretching her out, we do find out, is to literally be reborn. He
Gives me chills.
wants a chance to start over, and he
Yeah.
thinks that the only way to start over is to actually be reborn in
Right.
the same hotel room where his mother once tried to abort him. So his means of doing this, which is why he has tried over and over again to get a hooker in the room,
Mhm.
was to stretch him out wide enough that his literal head would fit in her vagina.
I don't have words for that.
No, that took me out. Like I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think it was that.
Right. Like we didn't know what to think, but what was Duncan thinking?
Duncan,
kn-
WYD.
I
What are
need
you
to
doing?
know.
We need to know. So, okay. He chloroforms, sorry if I'm saying that word wrong, Shyla. Poor Shyla, because she deserved better, by the way. He chloroforms her, and
Mhm.
she knocks out.
Which also thanks Bethany.
Thanks a lot,
He
Bethany.
wouldn't have known that.
Bitch. So anyway, Shyla's knocked out.
Yeah.
She starts to be like, he tells her, Angel tells her, I want to be reborn again, and guess what? I'm giving you the best gift of all. You get to give birth. And she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for all this. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, it's happening. And then so she
That's when he
passes
gets a
out.
little freaky.
Then I'm like, Angel, what the hell?
I know.
You bamboozled me.
Oh, for sure. I didn't.
No, I didn't expect
At that point,
it.
I was like, okay, I'm not on your side.
No. So she passes out. He does stick his entire head, like crown to chin,
Yeah.
in her vagina
Yeah.
while she's passed out. But then he gets stuck
Mm-hmm.
and he cannot get out of her canal.
Yeah, and he starts to suffocate in there.
He starts to suffocate. And then he's like, and then all of a sudden his tone changes because he's like, oh, she's like my mother. You know, this is going to be a spiritual awakening. But then he can't get out. And he literally says, let me out, you fat bitch.
I can't.
That pissed me off.
That part I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, because
How dare you?
How dare you? Right, because this whole time he's like, this is all what it's supposed to happen. It's a circle of life.
Yeah.
I'm going to be reborn. And then all of a sudden he can't get out and now he's mad.
Don't do our girl Shyla like that.
No, do not do Shyla like that.
Justice for Shyla.
100%.
Like, don't you dare. This was your doing.
Yes. Literally, justice for Shyla.
You
So
wanted this.
So it ends because Shyla does wake up just like he woke up. Angel woke up when he
Mhm.
was being mutilated by
Yes.
Bethany. Like it all kind of comes together.
It does. Which,
She wakes up
Mhm.
and he's passed out though. Like I think she thinks he might be dead. He's not.
oh, yeah.
He's not. I think he just is unconscious, like he's on the brink of death. And she, all of a sudden, Shyla's like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give birth to this man. And she's
Yeah.
like calling herself. She's having self-talk. She's like, push, mama.
That part kind of took me out. I'm not gonna lie.
So she's breathing, and she's like, and she pushes him out.
Yeah.
And it ends. She's coddling him like a baby, and she's like, you know what? I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. She notices he's breathing.
Yeah.
And then that's it. He's reborn. He gets what he wanted. He's reborn. He got what he wanted. He's reborn.
Yeah.
And I do have questions for Shyla.
Yeah.
Because Shyla, you deserve more than that.
She does, but don't you feel like that was like her being reborn?
It was because she mentions, which I don't know if we touched on this, that she always did want kids, but then
Right.
she couldn't because of her traumas that happened to her. And now she got this chance. I don't know.
Yeah.
So y'all, that was it. That was the book. And I'm sorry,
I
but it had to be said.
it had to be said.
Yeah. That's
Just
how
had to like stare at her for a second.
when it ended, I shut my Kindle and I was like, wow.
What did I just read?
Yeah, really. So, first segment, did you like it or did you not, Amber?
Okay. I liked the book.
Me too.
Like, I mean, I don't know if I would go around recommending this book to everyone,
Mm-mm.
but as a reader,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Again, I feel like it makes me question, like, am I okay?
Right?
I think I am, though. There were so many times throughout the book where I was like, no, this
Yeah.
is not happening.
Yeah.
It really is unlike any book I've ever read before.
Agreed.
But overall, I did like it.
I did.
Did you like it?
Yes, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I did like it. I really liked it. So it was definitely a level up from any psychological thriller I've read. Like I thought Verity was a lot. I thought Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell.
But the thing is,
Was a
though, is
lot.
like those books are a lot.
They are.
This is a book that I think is in its own category.
Agreed. I agree. And I surprisingly enjoyed it. One thing I really liked about it was just the author style in his writing. Like,
Yes.
I liked the storytelling.
Yes.
I felt like I was Shyla. Like I felt like I was her listening to Angel's stories. I liked the back and forth.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I really was a fly on the wall.
Agreed.
I thought that the storytelling flowed effortlessly.
And I liked that it was quick. It was like less than 200 pages.
Oh.
Appreciated that.
Yeah, it was almost like a novella.
Agreed. Yeah, it was quick.
One sitting. Read it in
Yes.
one sitting.
One night. I
Yeah,
got it
yeah,
done.
yeah.
Well, maybe it was 2 days. It was like, it was quick and it was a page turner. It was easy to read. I liked it. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say, did you like it or did you not? Yes.
I think we both stamp it with we like it.
I think so too.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Takeaways.
Okay. My first takeaway. Like I was saying, how this is like in a category of its own. Have
It
you ever
is.
seen The Human Centipede?
Yes.
And it's like,
I've seen all 3. There might be 4.
okay, but you know when you watch that and you're like, oh, why?
Like, I need to
What?
look away, but I
This is
can't look
horrible.
away.
I would categorize
Yes.
this book wherever Human Centipede is categorized.
Yeah.
Like,
It's in its own
it's
universe.
beyond a scary movie. It's beyond a horror novel. It is in its own category. And I think that is like my number one takeaway because it's that disturbing.
It's a perfect analogy. Yes.
Like, that's the one.
And that's how I felt watching The Human Centipede. Like,
Like,
why am I watching this?
I shouldn't be watching
but
this.
I need to finish.
Yeah, it was like I should not be reading this.
Yeah. 100%. That's such a good analogy. I felt the same way.
Yeah. Like,
Okay. My overall takeaways. All right. To me, this book had me reflecting on how everything comes back to our childhood.
yeah.
Like, in so many ways.
Mhm.
But everything kind of comes back to what you were dealt with when you were literally born up until like when your childhood is over.
And you have no control over that.
exactly the things you don't have control over, which is scary being a mom.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, being a mom and thinking like, how can I make sure that my kids don't have certain traumas?
Yeah, protecting them from that.
Protecting them. Now this was next level, and Johnny, he really had such a low chance. But
oh, I know.
and Bethany too. It made me think about how much of our like lives, our adult lives, are dictated by what happened to us when we were kids.
Yeah.
Because had Bethany had a different mom that wasn't so overly sexual and neglectful,
Yep.
would she have had the relationship with the mannequin, Andy? Would she have done what she did to Johnny?
No.
If she was brought up differently.
I don't think so.
Right. Or had Johnny / Angel not had the traumatic experiences that he did, being a survivor of abortion, having no mother, been through the foster system, would he not end up in this hotel room, literally doing the worst of the worst to Shyla, and just to do anything that he can to be reborn?
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything kind of comes back to childhood.
I do have a thought on that, though.
Please tell me.
I think my thought is more on the hotel itself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So,
Because
like,
that was a big aspect of the book. Like, just the womb.
the womb. The womb itself.
Yeah.
So, I think my big question is, like, do you think it was the motel itself that
Mhm.
led Johnny to that
Oh my
ending?
God, I never thought about that.
Because at some point, it was talking about, like, do certain material items hold traumatic baggage?
Hold pain.
Yeah, hold the pain. So do you think
crazy.
it was being in the room that
Yeah.
was, like,
Mm-hmm.
making him do the things? Not saying that his trauma didn't lead him there, but I'm
Yeah.
like, was it this trauma life also mixed with being in that
Right.
womb?
Like, do certain places or things or objects hold this, like, negative energy?
Yeah.
Which also reminds me of Yellow Jackets, because they are, in the show, this group of girls who are stuck in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen so far, it's like a question of, is everything that they did, aka like cannibalism and like terrible things to survive, was it a factor of their circumstances, or was it actually this like spiritual slash like magical realism that was in the woods?
Yeah.
Like, was it that, or was it just like a human experience?
Right.
I agree. Like, I don't know what it is. We need the author to tell us.
We do need the author to tell us, because that's something, like, I felt like at the beginning of the book, it was so, like, it's the room. And, like, it
Yeah,
almost,
he opens the book up with that. Like, this room holds pain.
yeah, and it's almost like that was the only motel that people went to.
Yeah, and he said that. He was like, damaged people come here, people who need refuge, like, and this is how I ended up here. Everything started here.
Yes.
It's going to end here.
And obviously, all of the reasons that he was in the room,
the womb.
womb number 6, were the traumatic events. Like, they all, even from way
Yeah.
in the past till now.
So true.
So I don't know. That was like a big theme that I was just kind of like,
That
or
is-
motif, I guess.
That
I was
is
like,
huge. Yeah,
was it that?
I don't know where I stand with that.
No,
I
I don't know
It's
either.
a mix of both, honestly.
I think it is.
Which I felt like that about Yellow Jackets too.
Yeah, I
like,
need to watch this.
You do, because it's a mix of both. Like, it's a mix of circumstance and also like what you believe as a person. Like, it's a mix of both.
And I think that's like the best.
Yes.
It keeps you thinking.
And
'Cause
that's
there is
why
no answer.
Exactly, and that's why I really like this book. As disturbing as it was, it
Yes.
made me think.
Yeah.
I could definitely have done without all of the graphics.
I agree.
Yeah, which we didn't touch on the revenge porn scene with Juicy, where
didn't.
he, y'all just have to read
Candy
it.
Rain.
Candy Rain.
Y'all
Her
have to-
colon falls out of her butt.
Yeah, y'all really do need to. No.
You need to read it if you can
If you can
stomach
handle
If
it.
you can stomach it.
Because honestly, when they were like trying to smuggle the heroin, I really was gagging. Like just now when you were recapping, I was
Yes.
gagging.
Yes, and it made me like scared. It made me sad. It made me feel things. So it was a lot overall. I think it's a mix of both, like you said, like
Yeah.
circumstances versus like inanimate objects and places like that
Correct.
hold on to energy.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess it's what you believe.
Oof.
So if y'all have read this book, please tell us what you believe.
Please.
What are your final thoughts? All the reviews that I've read are like circle of life. Like it all comes back to where it started.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't you find like the underlying themes of religion interesting?
Yes. Yes, they mention religion versus sex all the time. Even his mom's
Yes.
name being Mary felt
Mary,
very
yep.
intentional.
Oh, that was definitely intentional.
Yeah.
Because there were so many things like mother being named Mary,
Yes, of course.
being reborn or like born
Reborn.
again,
Born again, right.
free
And-
of sin.
Yeah. And he felt
Um,
like that was his only way to start anew, like a new
Yeah.
life. He couldn't just get past what happened to him. He had to be reborn.
Yeah, and also like his like name that he gave himself was Angel.
Angel. Never even thought about that. Right. There was a lot of juxtaposition
Yeah.
of religion, sex, life. It all starts with sex, it ends.
Yeah.
It starts with sex, you come out of the womb. It all makes sense.
Yeah, it was also, I found it so wild that a book this disturbing would
Mhm.
have so much
Yeah,
references to religion.
agreed. Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so that was Woom.
That was Woom.
WOOM. Woom.
Woom.
I recommend it for people who can stomach it.
Yeah, I think I 100%
Yeah.
agree with that statement. But
Mhm.
if you have a weak stomach or like the trigger warnings that Colby was reading earlier, don't even
Yeah.
attempt to read it.
Completely understandable.
But if you're interested,
Yeah.
give it a go and let us know for
What
sure.
a great first book to start with.
Yeah.
What an interesting first book to start with.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
excited.
Me too. So let's talk about the next book.
Okay.
Sea of Tranquillity by Emily St. John Mandel. Mandel? I don't
Sounds
know.
right to me.
Sounds right. But she's a renowned author. She wrote The Glass Hotel, which I was telling you earlier that I read,
Yeah.
and also Station 11, which is a show. I think it's on HBO Max, but I didn't read Station 11. But there might be another show to book, movie to book we should read.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know much about it, but it seems really good, and I think we should just go for it.
I'm here for it.
Yes,
I've heard really great things.
me too. So Sea of Tranquillity by Emily St. John Mandel. Basically, all it took from the synopsis, it's a novel of time travel and metaphysics that precisely captures the reality of current moment.
That sounds so good.
Whatever that means, we're gonna read.
We're gonna
it.
find out though.
Yes. All right. We have an Instagram. If you want to
We have
join
an Instagram.
this conversation, it's gonna be at the Open Books.
Yes.
THE Open Books. The Open Books. Tell us your thoughts on this book. Suggestions for next books.
Love it. Any questions that you have?
Yes, questions. Also want to say we are open to other books other than psychological thrillers,
Correct.
like disturbing horror. I
Yeah.
do enjoy it, but like if there's something else we should read, I want to expand.
For sure. Same here. But if you like a psychological thriller, we are your girlies.
Yes.
So
I like a page turner,
yeah,
but
this
I
is the
am open
podcast
to
for
trying
you.
new things. Yes. We are here for you.
We're here for you.
We love you.
I
I really have to pee. I've been holding it
know.
for so long.
Y'all don't even know we've really been going at this podcast.
At it. I've been drinking this margarita.
I know. It's been like an hour and a half.
Yes. And I will ASMR. Mine's gone. It's finished.
I have a little bit left.
This was so much fun.
This was fun. I really can't wait for the next
I
one.
think this was the best night of my life.
This is really fun. I think we're naturals.
I think we are. Okay, I'm going to go potty. Love ya.
Bye.
Goodbye. How do you stop it?